matter where you're from.
Originally, I discovered track midway through my freshman year. I started off playing freshman football and kind of found my way through track. Ironically, I suffered an injury in one of the football games. Our coach noticed some track ability and suggested for me to come out for the track team, which ultimately I did the spring of my freshman year. So it's basically history since then. Mm-hmm. Basically, I discovered I began to improve drastically during my sophomore year, the cross-country season, which was my first full cross-country season, and ultimately, by the end of the year, I was the best runner on the cross-country team. So basically, from that point on, I really discovered that I had a talent in track, and I was willing to commit myself to obtain, ultimate statuses in cross-country during my first full season of cross-country during my sophomore year. During my sophomore year, I was very competitive. However, I did not win all of my races. It wasn't until the latter part of the season where I really noticed the talent, and I was informed, that others felt that I was a lot more accomplished than I thought myself. And basically, from that point on, my sophomore year, my times drastically improved, and by the end of my sophomore year, I was competing with the best runners in the state. Okay. Basically, I was always early for track sessions. I worked out, I stayed late, I practiced on my own. I basically trained all year long, even through the summer season, without really having any coaching early on, or without any affiliation with a club or anything. I was driven to just get up and go train on my own, because I wanted to be the best at what I did, and ultimately, so they tell me, and so I've been told many times, it wind up paying off for me.
That's good.
It wasn't until my junior and my senior year where my times continued to improve even more drastically, and it was at that point where I began to set records. Ultimately, by the time I graduated from Neptune High School in 1974, I had set the school record in cross country, school record in the 2 mile, the school record in the 1 mile, and the school record in the 800 meters. And along the way, I picked up a few state championships, indoors in the mile, outdoors in the mile, cross country, runner-up in the meter champions in cross country. And it's ironic because we're going back quite a few years, 1973 and 1974, when I first set these records, and here it is, 2011, and those records are still standing at my former high school. So I have a lot to be proud of, and I think it's enabled me to gain the respect of a lot of the youth, which I'm working with now, and I'm honored to be able to have an impact on their careers and assist them with being the best athletes that they can be, and to reach their full potential.
Good.
Very close. Unfortunately, during that time, my particular events, it was pretty stacked. They had a lot of other good runners, many just as good as me or even better in the 800 meters. So I didn't quite make that accomplishment, but what I am proud of is that, throughout my career, high school wise and college wise, that I've always been ranked as one of the best middle distance runners in high school and also in the country. Basically, what it all boils down to, it's being able to prepare yourself from a mental aspect, and what I mean by that is that you have to have the ability to block out everything that's insignificant at that time, and fortunately for me, I was able to do that, which enabled me to fully focus and concentrate on what lied ahead, which was the race. So I kind of found a spot or an area, where I could focus, I could meditate, I could really, gather my thoughts, review my race plan, and just be serious about what lies ahead and not be concerned about other races that may be going on or anything else that, would happen to be going on around me at that particular time. So it's all about mental preparation, and for me, it was relatively easy to establish that mindset that was necessary for me to prepare for the race.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, me being a distance runner, originally starting off as a long distance runner and ultimately finishing as a middle distance runner, I guess the best way to sum that up is I kind of patterned myself after the African runners, the Ethiopians and the Kenyan runners. At the time when I came up and I was involved in the sport of track and field, basically from the 70s through the early to mid 80s, the most accomplished distance runners at that time were the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. So I kind of like mimicked a lot of their workouts, and I kind of patterned myself into wanting to be like those particular runners. And fortunately for myself, it paid off.
Mm-hmm. The youth, and what cities are you working in with the youth?
Well, I haven't limited the work that I've committed myself to do with the youth, high school, and some college athletes involved in the sport of track and field. I offer my services to anyone in need. I have a partner, who I work very close with in Darren Boone, and we've opted to try to reach out to any youth throughout the whole state of New Jersey, who can utilize our knowledge and our skills, and that are willing to commit themselves to reach the highest plateaus regarding track and field. So there's really no limit. Even though I'm from the Monmouth County area, specifically Asbury Park and Neptune, any youth, if they want extra help, if pointers, workouts, trainings, or things of that nature, then I'm always available, as well as my partner Darren Boone. And our objective is to get these kids to realize that they can go as far in life as they choose to go, because it's very difficult in this day and age with the way society is, and a lot of it being the lack of activities for youth. So ultimately they resort to negative lifestyles. So part of my commitment, in addition to assisting them with honing their athletic abilities, is to teach them to become responsible men and women that can be respected in the communities which they come from.
Mr. McDuffie, we want to thank you very much for kicking it with Unheard Voices. And what would you say to the youth out there right now that are lost and maybe talented and need direction? What would you say to the youth out there?
What I would say to those particular youths is that you don't have to settle and resign yourself for any particular situation that you're in now. That you do have choices and you do have options. And I'm one of the people, that are willing to show you the other options that are available, whether it be through sports or whether it be through academics. And I feel as though that I owe my